Well, good morning. God bless morning. It's what this December the 13th, apartment 13. 13 thoughts I'd like to share. This morning I just like to share some original words that have written some time ago. And I just want to share them with you, those that may hear my voice. And original words written by me, and I just want to share them this day and time. First one I like to read is called I'm a Writer. I'm a writer, not a reciter. That's why you have to read in order to take heed to the divine creed given to me from celestial beings and Nubian queens. The things I was told, I seen them unfold right before my very eyes. That's why I don't trust people who tell lies, because I have met those who will criticize and distort the truth. I declare always to back up my statements with proof. You see, those celestial beings and those Nubian queens presented to me things that would bring my pituitary gland to the maximum function, so that my third eye will open. Therefore, I could not be deceived by the lie. Some say that it was forbidden, so that's why it was hidden. That it would not be taken out of context. What I'm going to tell you next might make you perplexed, but it's in the DNA. The mystic script lies. As life unfolds and more of the story gets told, you become more complete and holistic, like you're a mystic. They told me to understand my inner self, where the Supreme left all things to be deciphered, where reality clarify your dreams. The genetic code is your real goal and material wealth, plus your spiritual health that gives you mental weight and depth. The celestial beings and Nubian queens told me to love myself so that I can love everyone else, and to develop a universal mind so I will be inspired by the divine. That time is the doorway to the essence of life through all struggle and strife. That humility is the key that gives you peace and harmony. The arrogance and the ego you must let go in order to grow to the next level of consciousness. The realm of pleasure, which will be measured by your level of unselfishness, where your emotional love will evolve to levels of celestial bliss. They said they told me all this because I was central in their plan to develop a total man for the origin of the Nubian clan. So I was chose as I rose to the apex of my being, not seeing the reality of me being a Nubian king. Yes, that's my reality. That I'm growing and progressing in that area of understanding who I am as a melanated, carbonated spiritual being on the pathway of my ancestors by divine decree. And I hold the key of eternal life, of this spiritual life, as I continue to grow and my consciousness continues to expand like the universe, endless. The next writing that's original that I'd like to share with us is called Reparation. Reparation is the one thing that should be due us, because E Pluribus Unum is not the God in which we trust nor pray to. Reparation for our divided nation, because we got those who say we suffer from victimology, and we owe the nation an apology. The Willie Lynch syndrome has really come home to inflict some asinine dispositions. As our conditions erode to affirmative action, Supreme Court Justice Thomas says it's because of our lack of satisfaction of the status quo. How in the common sense would he know? Reparation is like a dollar bill a note of legal tender for all debt, public or private. So why can't we solve this? Our forced labor was not free. You forced that upon us with the words in God we trust. Reparation is a must if our libations to our ancestors are to be accepted and their souls can rest in peace. And at least they will know we didn't give up. The struggle continues on all venues. Reparations is a revolutionary movement, not just for the lost African, but for all humanity, especially those who seems lost their sanity, like those in Congress who suggest it's too late to put the bill on the slate, like 100 million Africans that died in the Middle Passage with collateral damage. That seem not to be able to connect the free labor, castration, mutilation, side and backdoor illustration, lynching, miseducation, and indoctrination, all products of our beloved nation. Reparations is the one thing due to us, because E pluribus unum is not the God in which we trust nor pray to. If the Yahudi, so-called Jew, can get some recourse, then hey, so no remorse in giving us what's due. And if you can release some resources for the Japanese, then at least you can feel at peace with our relief. Reparations. I say again, reparation is due from all nations that had a hand in our debilitations. Don't wait too long in righting this wrong, because our songs will turn to libations, movements through libations to the spirits of the Mau Mau, Gabriel Proctor, Shaka Zulu, Queen Nzinga, Nat Turner, then Mark Vasey, Harriet Tubman. Reparations, no more assassination. Dr. King, Malcolm X. What's next? Preparations or reparations? You tell me, in this political climate, where are we headed? You tell me. Ask yourselves, what are we going to do about this dilemma in this political climate? Move right on into the next deliberation under satanic administrations. As I stand here in the United States of hypocrisy, and they continue to make mockery of me, you see these scars on my back of my ancestors? They say are unrelated to me, because they say our history begins with slavery and made you believe we were heathens. So it is all right for them to whoop, lynch, castrate, rape, mutilate, and burn our culture, language, and religion from us, only to make us hate our own nature, as they bait us with the Willie Lynch syndrome. Got you afraid to leave your own home, not because of the political drones, but because not too many videos are shown on MTV, and BET got you killing you and me like black on black killing is not a crime. Because it's be happening all the time like somebody has lost their mind. But it ain't no time to be crying. We as elders of the village must stop this pillage by grabbing our youth by the soul and shaking their spirit until they hear it. This ain't happening no more. Not in our community. Because we are developing unity through Ma'at and the matriarchic parliament that's God sent. So in the United States of hypocrisy under satanic administrations, we must understand the stimulation of the relations of all the multi-corporations for the bell curve that serves you the new Jim Crow, pipeline to prison, closing of schools and mass incarceration, all in a row like it's a rated X movie show. And you don't know it's all connected, even from the music studio to the poly tricksters and the CEOs of corporations like Wells Fargo. Across this nation, instituting mass incarceration, because indentured servitude is slavery. That's their financial gravy. And just maybe, if you brothers pull up your pants and loosen them up, the sisters wouldn't be so corrupt in manly ways. Then maybe we can get back to the good old days, when you knew what was what. And we must stand our ground to unsound prostitutorial charades and do judicial formalities that end unjust fatalities. As the moral fabric of this society continue to erode, becomes the true reality. So in the United States of hypocrisy, don't sell your soul. through those under satanic administrations. Because that's what a lot of us do, sell our soul and we become Negro pins, trying to emulate those who are more, I'll say, inclined to be natural enemies without the divine mentality that becomes our fatality in this reality. If we don't unify, organize, and develop an infrastructure of a spiritual, holistic, based, derived from divine, ordained laws of our ancient pathways and of our ancestors, according to our laws, divine laws, that were plagiarized and stolen and turned against us, said that we were cursed and all that, but what have we done to been cursed on this planet? We haven't done anything to be cursed on this planet. If we adhere to the natural laws and divine laws that was given to us, and not the man-made laws that was given to us and took us out of our tribal accord, our tribal harmony base that we had. What happened to the revolution? What happened to the revolution? I said what happened to the revolution: assimilation, integration, fabrication, assassination, incarceration, indoctrination, manipulation of a people who have been educated from birth throughout their lives to be indebted by way of televised lies to a system that is commercialized and devised and material disguised from them, never to realize the effects of racism and classism, as a few can control and want to stay on top, like they did enduring from the auction block to the numbers on the dockets in the cell block, a judicial process that they won't stop because indentured servitude is slavery. And as they hail all those who show bravery in the game of cops and robbers that they play, because and not for a cause, that is counted as our loss. What happened to the revolution besides programs, tokenism, agent provocateurs, and being pacified by those who hide behind the Americanized dream with no benefits? Because e pluribus unum still means the same thing, one out of many. Exploitation, trickology, psychology, all tools being used by the multi-dollar billionaires of the political right, no matter Democrats or Republicans. They want to keep us in this plight with no will to fight, no matter black or white, yellow or brown. It's this system holding us all down. And we can't wait any longer because our situation become compound, like anarchy or a police state. For God's sake, no more collateral damage for the military-industrial complex to create another ghost villain, as they be killing innocent children with their laser-guided smart bombs, missing their targets. How intelligently dumb of them, imperialistically gone, capitalistically mad. What happened to the revolution? They say it's not needed. Here's the solution. We'll put a black man at the head of our political institution with no reparation. That's another sideshow for the world to view. E pluribus unum, one out of many. Everything still remains the same in this game of democracy that they play. Democratic poker as they gamble with our lives. Nothing in this world is more dangerous than sincere ignorance and conscientious stupidity. Let me say that one more time so we can clearly hear it and try to understand it. These great words. Nothing in this world is more dangerous than sincere ignorance and conscientious stupidity. The words of Dr. Martin Luther King. What happened to the revolution? It's an evolutionary process, spiritually, first and foremost, then mentally. Then we take it to the next level of physical, in our homes, in our communities, in the street. We got to stop this black on black crime, this killing each other, and bring some harmony and love and peace and understanding among us as a people. We got to go black. We got to go black to the future. We got to go back to the past and come up to this now, this present state, and change it. We got to change within ourselves. We got to go to those who lost their soul but haven't sold it. They just don't have no direction and guidance. And it's up to the elders and to the righteous and to the spiritual and to the conscious and to the nation and to the Christians and to everybody to come together, the Hebrews and everybody. We got to come together and unify under one banner. Don't let the divide and conquer methodology be our apology to our ancestors that we didn't come together. Why? We have all the context and the text that we need in order to unify is within this temple. This body is your temple. The energy and the spirit, that's the creator, the universal creator. You can practice what you want to practice. Islam, Christianity, Hebrew, whatever. There's only one universal entity that people call God, Jesus, Allah, whatever. And we all come from that one entity. A lot of us come from denial of that because of our situation and circumstances. And for thousands of years, we have been against the concept of the Creator and the people of the Creator. So we as the righteous people must stand up. And take a stand. It's 2016. 2016 years under the banner of white supremacy. And if we ain't woke up yet, I don't know why you still sleep. All the castration, all the rapes, and all the indoctrination, all the plagiarism, all the stolen facts that come from you, and you still want to hold on to a Greek ideology when everything comes from you. The whole Roman concept, the whole Jewish concept, and the Greek and the urn, everything comes from you, come from us as a people, melanated, carbonated people. We got to realize that and stop being programmed and under robot control. Open our eyes and see the truth. Not these two right here, but open that spiritual eye through the chakra centers and the third eye that was given to us. And it's etched in stone. Truth is etched in stone. That's why they can't change it. They tried to plagiarize it, change the colorize it, and all that, but it still rises just like the sun every day. So with that, I'd like to go into another short topic. It is called Never Was I a Slave or a Nigga. Before I go into it, people say, don't use the N-word. Well, it's me using it because my understanding is that the definition that I read before says that a slave was a lazy, shiftless person or something like that, of that nature. So I look at it, when that derogatory term was used, it wasn't used for us because we couldn't have been that. We was whooped from sun up in the morning to sundown every day for almost 300 and some years. We was in the field doing work. So how could a word nigga apply to us? Huh? No, you're not going to validate me. No matter who you are, what your status or whatever, you're not going to validate me because the nigga didn't apply to African people, melanated people, carbonated people, us as a people, because we weren't lazy. We were doing the work. We was beat to do the work. So those that sat on the porch, I called nigga. So, excuse me, but let me go into this. I am the substance of life without a price, because I am free and cannot be sold or bought. I don't care what your children were taught. In life, I'm a spiritual warrior, an African ninja. And I don't care if I offend you, because I'm here to bend the lie back into truth. No longer will truth and falsehood be strangely mixed. I see your tricks and lies and manipulation because of your melanin frustrations. Because you be tracing my dreams, builder of pyramids and great civilizations, and the ultimate in race relations. So therefore, I was never a slave nor a nigger. You see, I have faith in the Creator and don't have to see Him to believe in Him. So therefore, I can't develop a creator complex and take everything out of context, like marriages of the same sex, no reproduction. So what's the function? The maker of man-made laws gone mad like Nero, your hero, playing the violin as the world burns out of control by those in control with no soul and no passion for the masses. But you can't control me. I'm mentally free. And never was I a slave nor a nigger. You will never be able to figure me out because I'm the mystery of ancient and future times in the long line of masterminds and griots, the keepers of our story. So in this so-called post-racial era, it becomes clearer that everything is out of control as the people with soul are sold a new cultural identity without indemnity. As you become your own enemy once again, as the system that hasn't changed has you believing social equality has been attained. Just because of the fame of one African king in the society of Europeans who surrounds him, do you think they treat him like the next of kin, or he's really their friend? Just look at the Republicans, how they vote. My third eye is open, and I see clearly. It's merely hypocrisy being paraded as democracy for the republic in which it stands. Oh, say, can't you see? It's all connected from the sinking of the Lusitania to the present-day chaos by the Iranians. Man-made paradigms without limits, standing on the verge of total economical plan collapse. And this don't have anything to do with the zodiac. It goes a long way back to the Knight Templars of Solomon, who became the learned elders of Zion, lying in wait to implement the next phase of the plan, as they have commercialized the revolutionary slogan, power to the people, and the people don't know what they be buying. Because the IRS and the Federal Reserve and the international bankers all be lying. The final sign of the New World Order being put in place. But you see, I was never a slave or a nigger. I figure one aim, one purpose, one goal for those with melanin in their soul as the Creator's plan unfolds. Yeah, that's what I truly believe. I really do truly believe that. We already talked about that, didn't we? Then we talk about what happened to the revolution. We talked about that, right? Yeah, we did. Oh, man. I'm telling you, man. 2016, can you believe? 500 years. Here we is, still in a village of tears. Self-inflicted genocide as we ride to where? What's going to happen tomorrow? Everything is like politics as usual to a certain degree, I believe, because we really don't know what's going to unfold. We got all these international things going on and how it affect us, and got the hop in the sky, got satellites in the sky, but everybody died day by day, and they don't know why or how, who did it when they looking right at it. Why? Why are they letting this go on? Because some people say it's depopulation that they're trying to do because they're dying out naturally. Some say it's legal binding effect that they put into law under like President Carter or some other presidents talking about depopulating the population on the planet. I don't know, man. It's all fraudulent laws. They do anything to make a law, to change a law anytime they want to. And we abide by it because we're not developing an infrastructure. We're not unifying or organizing. We just like people say sheep or sheeple. And we're being led to the slaughter. because we haven't woke up with our eyes. We walk around with our eyes wide shut. We don't go by our spiritual senses or natural senses. We go by how we've been indoctrinated and led, and we believe in this system. The system can work. It's workable, but we have to work it. We can't work it like they wanted to work it, as being so competitive and individualized, and we have to be communal. We have to want to care for each other. We need to go on the street and meet the people where they're at. We need to meet the people that's pulling the trigger and say we can't do that no more to each other, because we hurting each other. And like, if you do it and you get caught and then you in jail and this and that, where's your family at? Where your leadership at? We got to reach our brothers, young warriors, and let them know that we need them. We need them. We love them. I just wanted to, let me see. Is this something? Let me see. Okay. Where I'm going to go at next? I think I'll go here. I haven't been here, I don't think. I'd like to go into this one. As melanin, carbon. I got to do that for my brother. Melanin man. As melanin is secreted to my pituitary and my pineal glands, I will once again become a real African man. My third eye will open as I always planned. I will stand as a scientist, priest king, a Nubian pharaoh from the open Nile. Now I will go through the trials and tribulation of this chaotic and confused nation without hesitation, with libation to the ancestors and purity of thought, with the essence of truth being sought. I move forward with clarity as my substance, as my subconscious and conscious mind merge, and I'm led by divine light with excellence as my insight. And if you measure the contrast of the matrix between you and I, you will understand why I'm willing to live and die for the love of supreme, as my realities and dreams blend, as I now can ascend and descend in any realm. Being a scientist, priest king, a Nubian pharaoh from the upper Nile, where I look into your eyes, you will become mesmerized, only to realize for yourself that we were kings and queens of past, ancient, and future times. We must overcome the stagnation and indoctrination of this forbidden nation, plus the escalation of the falsehood that prevails here, and understand that the end is growing near, but the righteous have nothing to fear. And we must continue to hold our youth and elders dead, so that the griot and the seer will always be here to give us the truth of our story, of the past glory, and show real knowledge and the legacy that was stolen from chematology and replaced with Greek mythology. And understand and demand that the lies cease and the truth increase, and being told by all people who haven't turned to being cold and selling their soul for materialistic gain. To forget what's at stake will be selling your own fate. It's never too late to understand that ignorance is no excuse for stupidity. What? I said it's never too late to understand that ignorance is no excuse for stupidity. And you got to be genuine in order to keep up with those who be lying even about the homeless dying in the winter time. It's a crime when it be happening all the time, winter after winter, like a habitual sinner, giving 36 billion yearly to those who stole the country. As my third eye never blinks, I always stop to think, morally like a priest, knowledgeable like a scientist, and humbly, humanely, and caring like a king, a Nubian pharaoh. And it's not about me, but our entire earthly clan, eventually taking a moral stand against the enemy of man. Who is that enemy of man? It's needless to say who it is. Because if you don't know now, you ain't gonna never know. To be under this system though, and not to say you know, how much more mental and spiritual growth you got to do. I want to give praise and honor to all the ancestors and give praise to the Creator, that entity of universal proportions. I mean, beyond our comprehension. You can't define it, but we can be adhering to the guidelines that was instructed into us from whatever pathway we follow. But if we go back to our ancient roots, go back to our ancient roots, it's all covered there. All the beginning. We're the beginning of time. Before time was here, we was here. In the essence of it. Before they try to confine time and space. You can't do that. You just got to live it. But we're here now, so we got to do it in this realm. But know that growth and development, spiritual growth and development is always going on. And the evolutionary process for within your temple, your spirit and soul is about elevation. To rise up, to help deliver the truth and righteousness to this nation. Because there's a lot of misconceptions going on, a lot of plagiarism that went on, a lot of distortions that went on about where we were and where we come from and this and that. We was here. We the beginning. We the beginning of everything. And everything come from us. Because we are the Alpha and Omega. We were the first one that had that concept of the Creator and theology and all. When we took a fall, we had to get up like one of the great minds that we're familiar with in D.C. If you fall on your back because you'll be looking up. And if you can look up, you can get up. That's the great mind, Barry. One of the greatest ancestors that came through D.C. So I just wanted to share that for a minute. Then I'd like to go into a couple of more discourses. So, I don't want to be overkill. But I want to talk about my black is. My black is the essence of the Creator. In the making of me, the original man and woman. My black is crystal clear, now hold it so near and dear. My black is the essence of a black woman, strong, bold, and intelligent in her matriarchy abode. That's so, my mystical flower with magical powers. My black is truth etched in stone in the pyramids of my mind in my Nubian home next to the Nile river where the truth was delivered to me. My black is the melanin being secreted to activate my pituitary and pineal gland, to open my third eye in order for me to become celestially connected, universally free, and spiritually divine. My black is the stolen legacy, plagiarism, distortion, lies, and even the sanction of the Pope that gave them hope of being better than those that brought them the Renaissance at their mind's expense. My black is being stolen from my homeland by the European man, clan after clan, with a ruthless hand, rape, castration, mutilation of the African nation. That's Akabulan Exium. My black is the death of 350 million Africans, Nubian Cometics. And they want us to forget and to remember some European bit of news. My black is ocean blocks being born, then torn from our families, jumping brooms, then sleeping in separate rooms while the children become mulattoes, octoroons, and quarter-rooms. My black is back doors, fighting wars, Ku Klux Klan, the white man under sheets, lynching and buying. Lynching and burning in the streets and buying. Jim Crow, black laws, emancipation, proclamation, and all of this in this nation. My black is racism, classism, separation, integration, almost like apartheid. So many of us died with civil rights and no human rights, all this in broad daylight. My black is assassination, agent provocateurs, informers, snitches, NSA, NSC, CIA, FBI, who bring in the cocaine and the heroin that the people be buying. They tell us there's a war on drugs, but they just be lying. My black is taking the white Jesus off the walls of our churches and rewriting the story in school books, stating that our story begins with slavery instead of the builders of the first civilizations. My black is my love for my people, no matter Christian, Muslim, or Jew. That's that black in you that makes you who you are, a celestial star with the essence of the Creator etched across your heart. Just like the mystical art, black is what it is, beautiful and supreme. And this is no dream. My black is a manifest reality that can't be sold or bought. My black is reteaching the European story and the truth about our story that needs to be taught. My black is what it is. You know what it is. It ain't nothing but the truth. Blackness, that melanin, is nothing but the truth. We gotta stand up and be up and brought up by it. Because it is the essence of everything that's here on this planet. Because everything on this planet, all education, science, and everything comes from us as a people that, what can I say? Somehow or other, we have laws our real set of stone. But we got to gain it back because it's in our DNA. As I said before, that's where the mystical script lays, within this temple. In the DNA, and the spirit, the breath of life that the Creator breathed into us. I want to read a couple of more. Like I said, I don't want to be overkill. But I just want to let our sister know something. A couple of things before I end. About the sin, one of the greatest sins that happened. And I just want to let her know. When I say her, I'm talking about generalizing, universalizing, spiritualizing on the whole. Not only 360, but I'm talking about expanding that to 720. Because our consciousness is always expanding like the universe. And I just want to say this to our sisters. I apologize. And as I say I want to be speaking for us as the male population of melanated people, carbonated people, of Akabulanian descent, Kemetic Nubian descent. From here in America and the shores of so-called Africa and all those drop-off spots. I want to say I apologize. I apologize to the women of the melanin world from the beginning of tribal wars to leaving the African shores. Open the door of no return to matriarchic society across the Atlantic on a ship called the Satanic, where all hell was suffered by you. The mother of the earth, we just stood there and watched you raped of your innocence like it's something you asked for. I apologize, my queen. Every ship should have burned right there. Then they disrobe you of your dignity upon landing on the shores of the United Snakes of America and paraded you on an auction block, being bidded upon by ruthless fiends who never saw such beauty of hot titans. All sadistic acts against you have not been forgotten. The brutal rapes, the killing of your babies, including fetuses. Our act of dying and killing should have been there at that moment, at that very moment. And this story would have never been able to be told. But after that, all you've been through, while we stood by and did nothing by my melanin sisters, what unfolds next, the shame I can not name it. I give it no name. all the abuse and verbal, physical, and sexual that stems from our hands as insult to the unforgotten injury. Even though all men of African descent are not guilty of these shameful acts, I still ask for the forgiveness of every one of my melanin sisters in hopes that they will accept the apology of one who feels the pain and the shame of knowing these acts have taken place. But no more. No more. Never again will that sin be upon us, because death will be our martyrdom. For matriarchy society is back from its ancient future, and here is to stay with my melanin sisters, building upon it day by way of bioenergetic, connecting to the sisterhood of power. Such warrior queens as Amina, Azinga, Nefertiti, Cleopatra, Harriet Tubman, Sojourner Truth, Betty Lou Heyman, Shirley Chisholm, Cynthia McKenzie, Dr. Khadija Abdulmalik, Michelle Obama, all homage is due to all my melanated sisters all over the globe. I ask your forgiveness. I ask it. Man, it hurts me. Hurts me to my heart. See what we went through, especially our sisters, the mother of this universe. We allowed her to go through what she went through, and she still stood strong, still by us. Carried the weight sometime, or whatever, but never left us. Still there with us. So I want to go a step farther and hope the sisters accept that apology from my heart on the pathway of my ancestors. The ancestors, I hope they forgive us, forgive me for the part that I played in, or any negative act or transaction that may have came from my hand, my heart, my tongue, my words. Please forgive me. I ask the forgiveness of you, myself, and the Creator and our ancestors. I will strive never to be part of that. Never again. I want to share this with you. How to love a woman is a natural, mystical process that is holistic in the essence of understanding of who she is, the beauty, intelligence, and the respect and honor that is due her. Then you caress her mind and massage her thoughts, letting her know that this matriarchal moment is from the divine. As the yin and yang find celestial matches to strike a fire desire, as the energy, vibration, and frequencies takes you higher and higher to bring you closer to universal time, as the Yanni and Phallus intertwine a romantic embrace upon the lips of sensuality, like fine wine that you can taste, placing a soulful moment where the spirit transcends time and you find a moment of eternity, and you realize, moment by moment, is how you love a woman. Yes, moment by moment. Man. Sometimes you come across people, female energy, that you want to capture for eternity. This is called essence. The nobility and eloquence of a Ghanaian Sufi warrior queen in her moment of need to be touched, held, caressed, kissed. I once knew this nomadic maiden who dared to fly into the spiritual realm with the love of Allah, to find the essence of her being in the now. She always is forever to me. Our ultimate, intimate moments were of a spiritual nature, far, far away from this plane we call reality, where we experience the essence of our oneness in a state of bliss, which will never be missed, because what she gave me, I still have it, and will always have it, and hold it close to my life source, to energize my being. And on cold, dreary days when I hear her voice, her words warm my soul. So why would I need to seek out wealth when she is my goal? When I think of her, it's like magic moments occur where I hear nothing but the silence and beauty of our heartbeats in sync. Yeah, that is true, a true experience right there. It's nothing like it. I think I'll close out with this, because I know we gotta get ready to go on that plantation. And we will see. It's called Journey. Hey, sister. Yes, you with that African aura about yourself. Can I have a meeting of the minds and allow time to bring us closer together? You seem to be mentally free, and that's the key that unlocks the mysteries of self and who you are on the inside, the inner being. Now that we are in the realm of understanding and mutual trust, will you take my hand and journey with me on my magic carpet of thought, where we will transcend space and time? Come with me as we glide between the air to the doorway of a love supreme. The path is through a nocturnal garden with delights only sensed in a dream, as we descend into the mystical forest where only sound we hear is silence and tranquility. Come on, mystical African night queen, and let's lay upon this white linen next to the blue Nile, as our inclination produces a melodious funk. The vibrations are exotic, as we lie here intertwined in love embrace with ecstasy taking place. The aroma of amber, myrrh, and body must saturate the atmosphere that we're in, as frankincense pours from our pores as we try to reach the high heights of pleasure delights, which only can be attained when the body, mind, and soul becomes one. The essence of which is when we reach the apex of ecstasy, being overwhelmed by the climax, as we mutually came back to reality. All these words that you heard are original writings by me, taking out time to journey in the chambers of the pyramids of my mind, where creativity of the divine and originality of my reality. I paint a picture so that you can see it clearly. And I hope that I have said something that maybe you can adhere to or whatever. But we'll do it again one day. You have a great day. May the Creator bless you on this 13th day of the 12th month in 2016. Get ready for the political climate to warm up, cool off, or chill out. But whatever happens, we got to be unified, organized, and have an infrastructure to fall back into and onto. And that's the unity of the Muslim, Christian, and the Jew, and whoever else, Hebrew, to make that fist of power, of connection, universality, of spirituality, of the Creator's context, of our pathways onto the ancestors, not separation. We can no longer be separated by whatever word we choose to follow. We cannot be separated. We're all related. I'd like to say thank you. Have a great day. Be blessed. Ashe and amen. Peace.